OneXplayer recently announced the upcoming OneXfly F1 Pro, and with this, we're actually getting Ryzen AI and an OLED display. This is actually the first company to announce that they're going to be using the Ryzen AI HX chips in a handheld gaming PC. In their teaser video, they do a bit of a drop down. It states the 8840U, and I'm not sure if they're just going to be replacing that with the Ryzen AI HX370 and even the Ryzen AI HX365, but it is worth noting because it is in the video. Along with this, they're going to be replacing the 120Hz IPS display with a 144Hz OLED panel coming in same size, 7-inch. There's no word on if this panel does support FreeSync or VRR just yet. Hopefully we'll hear a little more down the road. But I've been doing a lot of testing with the Ryzen HX 365 and especially the Ryzen HX 370, and that's the one I'm most excited about, mainly because of the more powerful iGPU, the 890M. It's got 16 compute units, it's based on RDNA 3.5, and when you compare that to, let's say, the 8840U, that's known as the 780M iGPU, and that's based on RDNA 3 with only 12 compute units. And real quick, while I was actually making this video, OneXplayer did email me, and they sent over some images of their limited edition EVA version. Personally, kind of digging this. The red with that yellow or gold accent is awesome. I kind of like the idea of them going with the colors of Asuka's suit, and I'm a huge fan of Evangelion, but I do wish they would have released a Gundam version. A while ago, OneXplayer did release a Gundam version of one of their first OneXplayers. It was powered by Intel, not sure how well it did in the States, but I was able to get my hands on one, and still to this day, I think it's one of the best looking handhelds to hit the market. But either way, I still think this EVA version looks really good. So at the time of making this video, what we know so far about the OneXfly F1 Pro is we've got that AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX 370. They're also going to be releasing a 365 version, but with that 370, we get 12 cores and 24 threads. It'll clock up to 5.1 gigahertz. There's no word on RAM speed yet, but I'm sure it's going to be using LPDDR5X. Hopefully we're seeing that 8000 megahertz because in some of the newer mini PCs with these Ryzen AI chips, we can actually take it up from 7500 to 8000. Again, we've got that Radeon 890M iGPU. So this is based on RDNA 3.5. We've got 16 compute units and it'll clock up to 2.9 gigahertz. 144 Hz OLED display. They haven't released what kind of resolution it's going to be running at, but at 7 inches, 1080 is going to be more than enough for something like this. And they have released the initial weight. It's going to be coming in at 598 grams, which is a bit lighter than the Steam Deck OLED 640 grams. But with that new chip, how's performance going to stack up against something like the 8840U or even the Ryzen Z1? Well, like I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of testing with these new HX series chips. And at a 17 watt TDP, when facing it up against the Ryzen Z1 Extreme and the ROG Ally X, taking a look at 3D Mark Time SPY, we're scoring a 3,343, which is about 25% better than the Z1. But taking that wattage up, the Z1 does start to catch up. Now, it never beats it out. We're getting anywhere from a 6 to a 7% gain. And just taking a look at OpenCL iGPU performance at a 25 watt TDP, the 890M is around 20% faster than the 780M in the Z1. But at those lower wattages, I think that's the most impressive thing here with that HX 370. It's definitely beaten out the Z1 by quite a bit in synthetic benchmarks. And I did run some benchmarks in games, just to give you an idea here, at a 17, 25, and a 30 watt TDP. And across the board here, depending on what kind of power we're sending to this APU, it's anywhere from 17 to 20% faster than the Z1. But another thing to keep in mind are these tests were kind of run on earlier drivers for the HX 370, so performance may increase a bit. But checking out Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, high 1080p, the 370s coming in anywhere from 19 to 25% faster than the Z1. And with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, medium 1080p, anywhere from a 16 to a 19% increase in performance on that HX 370. So having a chip like the HX 370 in a handheld like this could definitely work out. And as we know, AMD is working on the Z2 and the Z2 Extreme APUs. There was rumor that there was going to be a Z2 Extreme X or something like that with a 16 CU iGPU, but it looks like AMD may have canceled that. And if that's the case, the only way we're going to get that 890M iGPU in a handheld is using this HX 370 APU. But the big question is, what is this thing going to be priced at? Now, of course, it's not going to be cheaper than the Steam Deck. We really haven't seen a good handheld that can match up with the price of the Steam Deck due to Valve being Valve, owning Steam, selling you games later on down the road, making a cut from all of that. So we're not going to see that kind of price point. And from what I've seen so far with the HX370 devices, be it a mini PC or laptop, they're running anywhere from $899 up to $1,600. So I'm not sure what they're going to be doing here. Hopefully they can bring that price down a bit. But having that OLED would be awesome, 144 hertz. Would love to see FreeSync built in here. But what are your thoughts? I mean, is this something you'd be interested in at the right price point? If we're only seeing anywhere from a 15 to a 25% gain in gaming performance out of this device with that HX series chip. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will keep you posted in the community section as soon as we get some more information. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I was really excited about this announcement, so I figured I'd go ahead and make a quick video. But like always, thanks for watching.